That's it. That's all it means. All right. But people look at the films and cartoons and they see the red man with a pitchfork underground. That's what you think the devil is. No. See, it says here, which is the devil and Satan, two separate entities. All right. Satan is a spiritual demon that takes orders from the Most High, like in Job. It tells you that God gave Satan permission to muck up Job's life, but not to kill him. You can do everything you want with him, but not to kill him. That shows you that the Most High, Yahweh, is in charge of Satan. All right? Satan's not rebelling against anyone. Okay? That whole old story of Satan was cast out of heaven, now he's fighting God. No. The Lord controls everything, which is the devil and Satan, and bound him 1,000 years. So that's when the Roman Empire fell. It fell to us, and we pushed him to the Caucasus Mountains and cast him into the bottomless pit and shut him up and set a seal upon him that he should not deceive the nations no more, till 1,000 years should be fulfilled, and after that he must be loose a little season. So that season, we're in that season right now. That's why the white man calls the Renaissance, well, when he came back into power, he calls it the Renaissance period. All right? Around about the 1400s to 1700s. Because they put us in slavery, and they were at the top, and we're at the bottom. So it was their rebirth. And that's what the word Renaissance means. A rebirth of what? The Roman Empire. This empire that the white man is ruling is literally like the Roman Empire. In Rome, you had a two-party system. In America, what do you have today? Democrats, Republicans. In Rome, the Roman Empire, they used to have a census. In England, we have to do a census every 7 years. All right? And even if you look at the architecture in England and America and so forth, it looks like, some of these buildings look like ancient Rome. All right? So the rebirth is the white man coming back into power. Now, that scripture, unless you have good teachers, like we got the apostles of Great Millstone, all right, no, you ain't going to understand that, because you think the devil is, a man in a pitchfork and so forth, waiting for souls to devour. I mean, this is all bullshit that you've been taught. This is the correct teaching, all right? Now, so that was the prophecy. So we pushed them to the Caucasus Mountains. Let's see what Malachi has to say about this, because white people are called Caucasians, and the word Caucasian, it means cave dweller, because that's where we pushed them to, And when they were there, they, again, just like now, a lot of them don't cook their food. They have lamb chops or whatever, and they've got blood pouring out of it. No race on the planet has, likes their food like that except them. And their forefather Esau, he liked his food like that. As we know, pursuant to the story of Jacob and Esau, when Esau sold his birthright to Jacob, and for a raw piece of meat, Jacob was cooking, and the meat wasn't done yet, but Esau wanted it, sold his birthright. So that's why you white people, you Edomites, that's what you're called in the Bible, that's why you like your food, your steak, medium rare, Anyway, this is Malachi chapter 1, verse 1, the burden of the word of the Lord to Israel by Malachi. I have loved you, saith the Lord. Yet ye say, wherein thou hast loved us? Was not Esau Jacob's brother, saith the Lord? Yet I love Jacob. Who's Jacob? 12 tribes of Israel. All right? And I hated Esau. Who's Esau? The Edomites, white people today. So the Lord hates them. Whether you accept it or not, I can't do anything about that. Because I know a lot of our people, they're just slave-minded, and they love white people more than themselves. All right? And laid his mountains and his heritage waste for the dragons of the wilderness. And that's when we pushed them to the Caucasus Mountains, the Middle Ages, or so-called Dark Ages. Whereas Edom saith, we are impoverished, which they were, because in Europe at the time, we were top, they were bottom. All right? We are impoverished, but we will return to build the desolate places. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, they shall build, but I shall throw down, and they shall call them the border of wickedness. That's what the Lord thinks of you Edomites, you white people, the border of wickedness, because everywhere you go, nothing but wickedness happens, like the Aborigines, like the South Africans, like us. All right, everywhere this race goes, they've raped, robbed, and murdered. But now the Lord is bringing them down, and the people against whom the Lord have indignation forever. See, forever, and indignation means righteous anger. All right, so all you Israelites that want to save them, you're gonna die with them, man. You're gonna die horrible, agonizing deaths. The Lord says He hates them, but you're sticking up for them. It's madness, you know. Now let's get into this book. All right, and on the cover there is King James, the real King James. Now I'm gonna show you when I do the post-production pictures of one of King James, and side by side, where the picture is of him being a black man, but then when the whites came into power, they made him a white man. That's what iconoclasm is, you know, to fool the masses. See, this is King James, and he authorized, the Lord put the Spirit upon him to authorize the Bible in English. All right, now let's see what it says here. This is page 8 of the Negro Question Part 4. Okay. Let's see. Let's read this for you guys. Okay. I know that this image of a black King James can be a little confusing. So it's getting blurry. I'm trying to confusing because of your Western education, but this is the truth that is known by the rich and the elite in the world. That's right. They know that King James was a black man and he's an Israelite, and we're Israelites. That was the reason I paraded all of the English historians and professors before I got into the bowels of this book. I had to get your mind ready to receive the truth. King James came from a long line of black Scottish Stuart kings. 343 years rulership in Scotland. And the white man mocks us, you know why? Like that film that was about Idi Amin, that Hollywood film that came out 8 years ago with that bitch Kerry Washington, that whore. What was it called? It was called The Last King of Scotland. See, they know your history, but you guys don't know your history, you know? All right? So that's why it's important to read. Blessed is those people that readeth, right? Okay? The Stuarts not only ruled Scotland, they ruled France, Spain, Ireland, Britain, England, Wales. King James was able to rule over all these lands because all of these people were Iberian, i.e. black descent. Okay? That's it, because we took over Europe, right? And most of what you see today, we built it. If you look at the bull in his hands, because he's got a bull there, I'm going to show you that in a minute. It represents world rulership. And there was only one other group of world leaders who used this type of symbolism, and they were the Byzantine Roman Empire, Roman emperors, which is us. Remember, they told the English that, let me just read it for you. Remember, they told the English that they were Roman citizens, and this is the proof. Now, when it talks about King James having a ball in his hand, there's the ball there. All right? It's a globe of the world, and it symbolized the rulership. So all the kings in his line used to pose for pictures with that ball. All right, and this is the time where we started to go down into slavery. They were killing us. They were putting us in boats. So the Lord put a spirit upon him to make the English translation of the Bible, which is very, very important. Now I'm going to show you the pictures of a white King James and a black King James. Shows you that they turn in from black to white. All right. Now let's go to page 10, where we're going to look at King Charles. All right. Another brother who's an Israelite. Okay. And this is so hard for, like, it doesn't bother me what white people think, because they actually believe that they're good people. They actually believe that they haven't done anything wrong to us, and they don't deserve anything, any retribution, or to go into slavery. I'm not bothered about them. But with our people, you don't have to believe anything I put in these videos. Just go and do the research yourself, you know? All right? King Charles I of Scots and England. All right? Now, this is very important, because this goes in to what happened when we started to fall out of Europe. When I say fall out of rulership. King Charles I had the unlucky distinction of having his head cut off by English white subjects in his realm. King Charles I wasn't the only one to suffer this indignation. When the English overran the country, they hung, decapitated men, raped the women, burned the citizens at the stake, and dashed the children against stones. This is a bit of history. So it's getting better. Let's see. This is a bit of history that is not only taught, that is not taught nor reported on in the annals of world history. Okay, because the Illuminati, whatever you want to call it, they know all of our history. To tell a lie, you must know the truth, right? So he got beheaded by white people, Edomites, crackers, all right, in his when he was in rulership. And this is what happened. We had wars with them in Europe, and they started to get the upper hand. But again, it was prophecy. The Lord said the devil will be loose for a little season. That was when they started coming back into power in the Renaissance, and we went into slavery. So, and they're still in power, but thank God they're going down now. All right.
It's another man saying, yeah, God has chosen you.
Well, one sec, Russ.
That's what makes me uncomfortable.
What?
You know the bit where he says that in there, that the apocrypha, the King James, the Bible. Right, it says it. Right, let's read it. This is a compact Bible dictionary, yeah? This is by scholars, so-called Jewish people. They went, dug up Jerusalem, they got all the ins and outs of what happened. Yeah? It says here, King James Version. When Elizabeth died in 1603, the crown passed to King James I, who had been King of Scotland for 37 years as James IV. Several months after he ascended the throne of England, he authorized a new translation of the Bible to replace the Bishop's Bible. We'll read that again. It says here, several months after he ascended the throne of England, he authorized, okay, a new translation of the Bible to replace the Bishop's Bible. Now this is the part. It says here, 47 of the best Hebrew and Greek scholars of the day were divided into 6 groups.
Right, you know, have you heard of Cambridge? Have you heard of Oxford? These people were literally in English and in Hebrew and in Greek, and they studied in those places. Those were the people that, like, for instance, if you went to university today, the dean of that university was a type of